I actually finished farming my Executor requirements in 2.5 months. Yes, you heard it right. 2.5 months. I'm now showing the progress that I've made in that time period in your screens right now from May, June, and of course July. And of course, if you've noticed, my ships were already farmed up prior to finishing up all of my character requirements. And no, I didn't spend any money for my ships. This is actually all done free to play. So how did I did it in 2.5 months? What were my strategies to speed up the farming process where most of the SWGOH players probably did it in like 4, 5, 6 months or even a year from scratch? So the first thing I had to do is actually I didn't farm the Executor directly, but instead what I did is I had to go for other legendaries that led to the Executor. So let me explain further. You have to focus farm on legendaries that would get you the Executor at the same time. So what are these like legendaries that you can go for? So of course you can go for Hansa Millennium Falcon because it gives you the Bounty Hunter ships. Other than that, you have JKL down here. And of course, for the Galactic Legends part, you can go for C. So those three alone can actually get you Executor really fast. But if you have like other options outside the legendaries, then the finalizer would be your last option. And why do I want to emphasize this? By going through farming those characters first, you are actually setting yourself up for the final push once you decide to go all in on the Executor. For the second part, what you need to do is actually focus farm one character at a time. So what do I mean by focusing on one character at a time? This means you shouldn't spread out your resources, especially if you're free to play. Always focus farm on one character so that you will able to finish this farm quickly given the limited resources that you have. Because if you start spreading out your resources, let's say you're farming up Darth Vader, Admiral Piet, Boba Fett, and Bosk at the same time, I'm pretty sure you're not going to finish up your Executor farm in like a reasonable amount of time, and you're not being efficient. And speaking about resources, this leaves me tip number 3 is to not miss every game mode in SWGOH. Because missing one game mode can actually set you back in your timetable, I guess, time progression, especially if this is done multiple times. So as much as possible, do your GAC. Other than GAC, of course, you have to go finish up your Conquest, Galactic War, the events here. In fact, we have a ongoing Galactic Challenge and Assault Battles right now. Please do them as best as you can. And then challenges, of course, do it. Raids, especially the crate raid or whatever raid you're doing right now. And then lastly, TB. Simply because doing all of this, well, technically just play the game. And then every resource that you can get, of course, you can equip it or make relics towards, let's say, the Executor characters or the requirements. My bad, the requirements for Executor. Then definitely you will be able to finish the farm in less than 4 months or maybe around 3 months at least. So that's actually all of my tips for finishing the Executor farm in 2.5 months. Now, what if you want to start from scratch? What does it look like? So we're now in my free-to-play account, and let's visit the journey guide and see what happens if you start farming the Executor from scratch. Now, by clicking the Executor, you can see that everything here is unticked, and this would be actually a very long and hard grind for newer players if you rush Executor. This is actually the main reason why I said what I said earlier by prioritizing other legendaries just to set yourself up to farm the Executor quickly, because by farming from scratch, this may take you at least a year depending on how much gear you're getting, the state of your, of course, guild, and of course, how active you are in the game. The less active you are, the longer it takes. So it's actually just better to go for other requirements first, get them up, set yourself to better success. And once you decide to go for the Executor, you can unlock him almost immediately. So that is actually all of my tips for today's video. I hope you learned something new today. If you're interested to see more of my SWGOH videos, video at the end screen in a bit. Of course, I also create videos for Jedi Fallen Order right now and SWTOR. If you're interested to see those, links in the description below. And to all of my SWGOH players out there, may the Force be with you and have a great day everyone. See you in the next video. Bye for now.